Communities are a fun and interesting place to belong to. They can grant you many things and benefits no matter how you spin it around, and it genuinely can lead to the best experiences a person might experience ever. A sense of identity, a companionship with like-minded people who are not only interested in what you love, but are also on the same rhythm as you and are appreciative of many things that you appreciate as well. Though what a lot of people might turn a blind eye to is that communities might also have a lot of things that might not be appreciated nor correctly represented. Where at the end of the day, as with any group of people, communities tend to start harboring things that might not stand, with some people leading rifts to form and negative images to be harbored as well, alongside all of that. The VTubing community is one of those examples, as it not only grew heavily over the past years, it also managed to attract all sorts of different people from across the globe as well. Starting from Japan around 2016, the VTubing itself was thought to be circulating only around the Japanese idol culture, but it ended up being much more than that when the big boom happened around COVID times in the 2020s. And as a person who has been around the community since the early 2020s, it is safe to say that I have seen the space change drastically in what feels like really short period of time. This, however, did sadly lead to a lot of things that I can say in our current day that I heavily miss and feel should be different for the sake of the old, current, and new VTubers alike. And while this definitely would be a more personalized opinion, if even a small word can perhaps aid this change, then I surely wouldn't mind saying it. To start things off, the concept of community feels heavily misunderstood inside the VTubing community. While many people claim they are a part of said community, their actions and displays are often quite the opposite, which not only feels disheartening in many ways, but also it genuinely feels scary to many newcomers or people who are genuinely here for the sake of feeling that sense of belonging. And while having opinions is by no means a bad thing, it is often how we display such opinions and our capabilities to accept them without hurting others that feel overlooked when we scour the internet. Because why would a human being even state an opinion while being mindful of others, right? As a community, we are meant to be one. Help each other out. It doesn't have to be via donations or subscriptions, but it could simply be by sharing a kind thought or a kind word as well. Many of us are having a hard time as it is, so wouldn't having a place to belong and feel supported and be heavily appreciated? The same can be said about the viewers of this medium as well, because I certainly wish people who watch us or begin watching us at least understand our decisions to pick up the medium of VTubing in the first place. No, it ain't because we are ugly, and no, it ain't because we have anything to hide. Perhaps some people just would like to not be on the camera 24/7 in full makeup or clothes, especially during a heatwave. And that, in its own ways, shouldn't be a problem to you, right, kind viewer? You're getting your content and much more as it is, no matter how you view it. Because if there's anything this community is known for, it is that we are a bunch of talented workaholics who do their best for the sake of their viewers and supporters almost always. Though it doesn't stop there, because the most important part that genuinely needs to change is the ability to have new VTubers experience the medium in the first place. And while we are all heavily thankful for the availability of free assets and affordable models right now, as well as the help of the amazing community members, you do not have to give such people a hard time for using models in the first place. We all had to start somewhere, and if there is one thing I would have loved when I started my journey in the beginning, it would have simply been that those customizable models would be around the internet more often. And don't get me started about the mentality that some people develop when they enter the sphere. From spending a lot of money on things they don't even know if they want to be a part of, to guilt-tripping their communities to the ends of the earth and back. And while I personally have no qualms with such people, I can't just help but wonder, how did we, as a community, even evolve to harbor such individuals? For what is meant to be a community that stands with one another and support each other, it feels like we are always at each other's throats, only striving to stand on one another, in a lot of times just for a little extra glossy coins. But to what extent one might ask themselves. Would it not have been much better if we as a group started supporting each other rather than simply look at each other's flaws and strike them? And while this might of course be general knowledge to many and general understanding and beliefs to many more in the community and outside of it, it personally did shock me heavily when I first saw it and experienced it myself. Friends turning their backs on one another for some clicks, or random roommates betraying one another for small qualms. It just absolutely made no sense to me. You can call me naive if you want, but why hurt others when you can simply make them happier and also gain while you're at it? You look up to your Oshis so much that you become parasocial. Meanwhile, you could simply support them by clipping them and introducing friends to their content as well. Would that not make them and you happier as well? It should not take a saint to tell you how to act online, but I believe that at the same time, some people just never cease to amaze me with how low they can fall, all while claiming they are part of this wonderful community as well, dragging its name down in the mud even more. Because it is quite sickening to have to explain what my favorite hobby is, while trying to hide a lot of the truth because some known individual might have acted in a certain way in the name of the community, while trying to see if my colleague at college would be interested in VTubing. After finding out he knew who Iron Mouse was, I was tempted to ask about his thoughts of the medium as a whole, and to my surprise, he said in a calm voice, "I believe it has a high potential, but I heard it is very unhealthy in terms of environments to be in, as well as that people are heavily lazy in it. That's why they use models behind their streams." And while his opinion might be valid, I'm not one to judge, I just couldn't help but think to myself, why is it that such ideas and thoughts are what many people think of us as a community? When our name pops up in their mind, is it because of our actions or our opinions? Or is it because of how we act in general? And what I reached in the end of the journey is that it's generally because of how we display ourselves as a community. And even though the majority of the people I have met in my many years in the community are some of the sweetest people ever, all we ever hear about is those who mess up and cause a ruckus all over the place. And while I might be stating the obvious, it certainly is something I wish could heavily be different in our lovely community, as not only do I and many other people take pride in VTubing, but it also is a great medium for many feats and activities as well, from educational purposes to laid back and relaxed streams or heavily hyperactive streams too. We offer a wide variety of content that many other communities in the internet sphere can't even begin to compete with, yet we have to put it on ourselves to spread around the positive image and thoughts about our lovely community, because no matter what happens, things are bound to be tarnished in our names, so might as well just push our talents and vibes forward. Which also has to be used to state the next point, which is how hard and tense VTubers work. From artists to riggers to all sorts of media creators from the VTubing sphere, everyone feels amazing in their own line, which is something to take pride in. Yet it ain't the end of the world if you would happen to take a small break and lay back every now and then. Nothing ever came from rushing after all, and nothing certainly ever will. And to those who know me, I know you might be thinking to yourself, oh, how ironic it is of you to say that when you are the most workaholic person we know. But even I know my limits, and I do my best not to cross them as well, which is a thing I know a lot of people are not even aware of yet, sadly. It feels as if the joy and the whimsical energy has been sucked out of this community as it started to grow, and that certainly is disheartening and sad to see. You do not need a high quality model to stream, nor do you need a lot of assets to begin with. All you need is yourself. Time will certainly pass whether you like it or not, so don't dwell on what could have been and think of what is happening right now. When the early Vroid models started appearing during the boom of 2020, the scuff was so huge that you could see the shaders in the model break on debut, assets be completely broken, and even toggles be straight up not working. Yet people would keep the positive vibes on and push forward laughing, which led to saying, it ain't a VTuber debut if there is no scuff in it, and all scuff is good scuff. And while luck plays an important role in the entire community, from who grows to who gets viral and who gets picked by the algorithm as well, if there is one thing that I learned from working with a lot of people as an editor these past few years, it would be how much effort they put into this craft behind the scene. When a client would tell her viewers, me streaming is me relaxing because what I do off stream is just preparation and work all the time, I scoffed and laughed until I got to see that work with my own eyes. Yet we are being called lazy for using a model, mind you. And while I'm with the idea that we should not please others and focus on pleasing ourselves and having fun first and foremost, we are still a community out there on the internet. So why not at least focus on having fun while creating a safe space for the people of all walks of life safe to feel safe in, like an actual community would, and not raise a pitchfork at each other's throats over whose Oshi is right and whose Oshi is wrong, as if we're disputing the cure of world hunger on a random Tuesday night. While the list could go on for ages and the talk could not end anytime soon, just keep in mind that as a community, we are fairly responsible to maintain our image, as we are to display to the public too. And Rebel got lucky by having amazing souls who led the way for us and trailblazed it as well towards the upper echelons of content creation. That certainly doesn't mean we should feel entitled for that ever. It is our achievement as a community after all, so let us work on that in kind and give back to those trailblazers as well by creating an everlasting image that no one should ever dispute over again. While it could all be talks and dreams of a perfect utopia, no harm ever came from dreaming. And even if you feel that it doesn't matter to you, as part of the system, you are automatically a part of the community, whether you like it or not, as an artist, creator, lurker, chatter, clipper, and an editor too. So keep on dreaming and keep on staying positive, because even if one person might not be able to change a community, it sure can create a ripple that will hopefully help it grow and become a better place for the future.